Another classic with the Exotic Network. It went down. It went down so much. Mike Diego had to come out here, man.
Pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Showing love right there, man. It take a village, man. So,
yeah, it take a village, man. And like you said earlier, man, good people around more good people equals a lot of good things. And speaking about good people around good people, man, Royal Empire, man, they leased out their spot to us, for a little bit. Let us come through and have
shout out to Royal Empire.
Big shout out to them, man. They doing a lot of stuff out there, man, and they got a lot of new stuff coming out, man. And they've been in the game, and we're happy to be here. We're happy to be a part of their success. Happy to be a part of their growth, man. And it was awesome. It was awesome just to have that moment for them to come out. But I could go on and on. I could go on and on and on like the song. But we're gonna let Royal Empire come up in here and tell you how they get busy.
Yeah, where Mela at?
Where Mela at?
Get Mela in here.
The Velvet Queen.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
What up? How
going
you
on?
doing?
Hey.
Go ahead and grab that right there.
Yeah.
Do it.
Good, you.
Good.
Yes,
Well, I
did
saw that interview. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. It was good. Mike made it easy. Exotic Network made it easy, setting up everything, and
They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Feel like I'm in Hollywood.
Well, let's dive right in, though. What's your kennel name? How did you come up with it?
All right. So my name's Mela.
Okay.
And my kennel is Royal Empire Frenchies.
Okay.
Royal Empire French Bulldogs. How did we come up with it? Well, we live inland. So we were thinking something like Inland Empire.
Yeah.
But then, I always knew, I like royalty.
Yes.
And I thought I wanted to bring like a classy feel to
the game. Yeah.
So that's how I came up with it. Just
Okay.
Royal Empire.
And is that how you probably came with the logo too? A little bit of spin off of that, some influence from that right there too?
Exactly. I kind of just gave my ideas to a creator.
Yeah.
And they ran with it, started with the logo, built a website, and went from there.
Yep.
Okay.
So you start just branding it. So, real quick, let us know, how long have you been breeding? How long have you been in the breeding community?
So I've been breeding for about 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
I started really young with different breeds of dogs. And about 9 to 10 years ago, I was introduced to Frenchies.
Okay.
And I'll be
Before it was trendy. So you came in way before it was trendy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
at first I looked at them and I was like, I don't know. And then they just grew on me. Every time I saw, I was like, oh my God. That's the cutest dog. They look like little bat pigs.
Yeah. For real though.
And I went out and I bought my first one. I bought a pied female on a really bad deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Usually the first one is, without guidance, without the barber guidance,
It was a bad deal. But you know what? That girl ended up being my best dog. I still have her today.
Oh yeah.
She created some beautiful puppies, and
Right on.
and we went from there.
That's awesome.
We know you do the velvet thing. I done heard you be referred to as the Velvet Queen.
Velvet Queen in the building.
Why do they call you the Velvet Queen?
Believe it or not, Brock and Johnny, I did not make that up. I did not take that name. It kind of came to me, and who better to give that name was China.
Mm.
Oh.
Chinese brokers and breeders just started calling me the Velvet Queen. Because really, it was created there, but they had no idea. They didn't
Know what they had, huh?
they had no clue what they had.
Yeah.
It was completely accidental. And then introduced to the United States as a big rope.
Yeah.
Just a big rope with a little different coat.
And
Yeah.
then bringing up the big rope, it's always, with evolution, always comes the question of ethics, right? So, is it ethically okay to breed big ropes?
You know, that's a good question. A lot of people scrutinize, the whole idea of big ropes. And I think that's a great subject. So, in short, yes, it's very ethical to breed them if they're ethically bred.
Right.
Boom.
That's the answer. Frenchies in themselves are a mixed breed. They started a mixed breed, back in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah, see?
And breeders today have been experimenting with them in different breeds. And along came the big rope. And the look is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is,
I
though.
mean, people just love them. Your pet people love them. Your breeders love them. Everybody loves them. The kids love them. They're like teddy bears.
Yeah, it's definitely something different for sure.
And like you said, it's all about if you're breeding ethically.
Ethically,
Right?
and when I say ethically, I mean you look at the problems that Frenchies have, and those are the things that you want to avoid. Biggest example, of course, first thing people think is, oh, that dog can't breathe. But let me assure you guys that big ropes can breathe better than most of my standard Frenchies. And there are scientific reasons for that. I'm just not going to get into it right now.
See?
Sometimes you can't give all the sauce.
No, you can't. You can't. But with that said, you got to have, the right knowledge, the right resources. You got to have the right spacing and everything like that. So tell us a little bit about how your professional medical history ties into you and your breeding, as well as the environment that you're raising these dogs in.
Okay, that's a loaded question. So I'm a registered nurse. I got into the health business because I care about health, not just of human health, but I love animals. And health has always been my number one priority before anything. Okay, before structure, before DNA, is health. So if I can't breed a healthy dog or healthy offspring that are going to live, a long life and have quality of life, I'm not going to do it. And I have no problem, pet homing out, dogs that are not suitable for breeding.
Exactly.
And when I first was introduced to Frenchies, of course, the first thing I realized was, they have, some breathing difficulties.
For sure.
And the first big part of that was just to figure out why, where it originated. A lot of people think that the breathing issues have to do with a flat face, but in reality, it has nothing to do with the flat face. It has to do with, the airway itself.
Yeah.
The size of the trachea. There's an elongated soft palate that Frenchies are notorious for. It creates like a barrier between their airway and, the outside air. So in turn, it's kind of putting a cellophane wrap on their airway.
Damn, yeah.
Or them breathing like they're breathing through a straw. So how do we fix that? We breed to dogs that have unquestionable breathing ability. Frenchies that have endurance. Frenchies that are cleared by a veterinarian. They actually, x-ray and look and see, okay, this dog's got a nice trachea. It's nice and open. Those are the most important things that you're looking at. And then when you're putting dogs together, those are the things that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to
Yeah.
when you're breeding for that. So that's number one. Eventually we got to that goal, and Royal Empire Frenchies was able to offer a 2-year genetic health guarantee to
Oh, that's dope.
all of their pet customers. And that was a huge turning point for a lot of people.
Yeah, for 2 years, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That says a lot, too.
basically saying, look, I'm confident
It might-
enough
Yeah.
to know that my dogs, my lineage, they're healthy, and that's what I'm looking for. That's the most important thing to me.
And you were already on that path before the Velvets came your way, right?
I was, and
Yeah.
I knew that I was dealing with a prototype. I
Yeah.
knew that I was dealing with, an F. Well, my stud that came to me was an F2, a second generation. So, it's important for a breeder to look and, not be kennel blind and see, I see all these wonderful things about this dog, all these characteristics. But, I know that this could be better, or that could be better, this could be improved. And you start looking for, for the mates early on.
Yeah.
Early on. We're going to put this dog
Getting strategic with the breeding.
For
Real
real.
selective and strategic, yeah.
Yeah. And so, we're not there yet. We're not 100% there yet, but, we're definitely in the forefront.
Yeah.
We're already going on 4th generation.
Yeah. And they're getting better and better by the
big
generation, so
And they're getting
that's
better.
good
and
news.
better.
Now, Velvet, right? Earlier you mentioned it came from China. They didn't really know, what it was, or they didn't. Obviously, somebody had to coin the term, right?
Right.
So, Velvet, where did that name Velvet come from? Where?
So that's going back to the whole Velvet Queen thing, right?
Yeah.
And I know I didn't answer that question. So I initially bought a big rope stud from China. I didn't actually buy him. I did a trade with a breeder.
Okay.
They wanted a new shade Isabella working stud. I wanted something extraordinary that nobody had. And big ropes had not hit the US yet. They were still, in UK. So I found this dog, and the story is so long, but basically I got scammed a bunch of times for this one dog.
Oh, really?
He was a lilac and tan maskless big rope. And I paid one guy, and it wasn't his dog, and I lost that money. And then I was referred to another, and then it wasn't their dog, and I lost that money. And one day at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call from China. And I'm like, what the hell? So I pick up the phone, and it's this guy. He doesn't speak English at all. And he's like talking to me in sign language. And he's like, my dog. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on. And he starts walking me through his kennel.
Yeah.
And he lands on my dog.
Yeah, the dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
He lands on the dog. Here I'm seeing my dog in the flesh on camera. He says, okay, I call you, with a translator tomorrow. Calls me the next day with a translator.
Wow.
Find out this is his dog. This dog's not for sale. I'm never going to get back any of the money.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, disappointing.
But he's willing to trade for the right stud. So at that time I had a new shade Isabella stud. He had just started working. I was so excited too. I'm like, yes, I got a new shade Isabella stud. He wanted that stud. And in order for me to get that stud, I had to give up this stud. So we set up a whole, basically we had to clear that dog to go to China, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Getting down like that.
trying to get that boy to China. But we did it. We got the boy to China. And this guy was supposed to, send us our boy. He was supposed to come to Moscow and then be driven to Poland. Well, the boy was supposed to go on a flight with a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the breeder decided that it was fine if he just put him in cargo, and it was about 110 degrees.
Oh, here we go. I heard this story before.
And my boy died. He took his last breath when he hit Moscow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was awful. I was crying uncontrollably. I had been looking forward to this dog for about 6 months.
Wow.
And then my dreams are destroyed.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this Chinese breeder, he says, "Oh well, not my fault."
Yeah, that's all right.
Stings.
And then he said he was gonna send his. So then I said basically, well, if you're not gonna make it right, I'm taking my new shade boy back to the States. And he threw a fit. And he said, if I did that, he would send his goons or whatever to Moscow to kill my new shade boy, so we would be even.
Oh, what?
Since he lost his boy, and now I lose mine.
It got serious real quick. Real serious.
So anyway, it got pretty ugly. I mean, and thankfully I had a long time business associate that I had worked with that used to live in Russia, that was in China, and she was like my middleman, trying to help make sure everything went through. There was no scams, everyone got their dogs. So she talked to him, and we came up with a resolution. And he shows me this puppy. And I was like, wow, I like him. He's nice. He just looked, like a big rope. We're talking to China. So it's not like the clearest, picture like these people are seeing today. It's kind of like a little muffled, but he looked really good. So I agreed. And we received the boy. My nephew, my husband had flown out to Poland to pick him up. But he had already been there a week, couldn't stay. So he came back, and we ended up sending my nephew to pick up the dog. My nephew calls us, and he says, "I don't know what you bought here or what you got."
Yeah.
He goes, "But this dog was bald." I said, "What do you mean he's bald? He has no hair." I'm like, "No way." I'm like, "Okay, I'm dying to see him. Hurry up and fly home."
Yeah.
Next day he flies home, and he flies home with this dog, and I touch him, and I'm like, "Oh my God, he feels like velvet."
There you go.
He feels like velvet. I made some calls to big breeders that, had been around for a long time, that were dabbling with hairless and stuff, because I thought maybe he was hairless. And she thought he had alopecia. So I started DNA testing and all of that, and lo and behold, he doesn't come back with any hairless gene or anything.
Okay.
And we realized we got something special here.
Something different, for sure.
China hasn't figured it out.
Yeah.
So I put him on Instagram. I made a post.
Did your thing.
And it went viral.
Did your thing.
It went
They got a velvet queen right there.
And then people just start asking for velvet.
Do you have any? Let's see. Do you have any studs or any velvets over here? Any fresh velvets we can see?
Are you kidding? Yeah, honey.
Yeah.
Can you bring one of our velvet boys?
Yeah, Mike has one.
Oh yeah. Let's see what.
There we go.
See what you got over here.
There we go.
Nice.
This is Benji.
He was coming.
Oh,
What's up,
Benji. What up, Benji?
Say hi, Benji.
Look at the rope on him. Man. Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what is this? One of the third generations, the fourth generation?
This is third generation.
This is third gen right here.
These guys are about almost 6 months old, just about 6 months. So they'll be working in about 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, real soon too.
About a month or two.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
Looking real good. Stay in the lab.
We're
Yeah.
working.
So what can we look forward to in the future coming up from Royal Empire French Bulldog?
Well, I want to continue working on, on my big ropes and my velvet program. And of course, continue with my standard program as well. I will never retire that.
Yeah.
But right now I'm putting a lot of my, concentration into these guys because they're just amazing, kind of out of this world, super chill, very calm dogs, just the perfect, I just see this in all American households.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, from what I've seen, people just absolutely, adore them. I adore them. We're gonna keep working. We're gonna work with some great breeders. We're gonna share some ideas. We're gonna bring, the forefront of velvet. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to give out too much information.
Do you have any top breeders? Like, give me like 2 or 3 of your top breeders that you like.
Yeah, that you respect, or maybe get some, top influences in the game.
Inspiration that you get from.
Besides you guys?
Oh,
Thank you.
Besides you guys?
Thank you.
You guys are like my family now.
That's what's up.
Yes, there are some great breeders out there. One that inspired me in the beginning was the West Coast Gaudy lines.
Oh yeah, Roger.
He was a huge inspiration for me. My first stud was a West Coast Gaudy dog. People like Kim Evans, who had been, in the business for a long time, and who've been able to gain the attention of new breeders and teach and educate. I couldn't even begin to start naming all the people that have had, a profound effect on me.
Yeah.
But definitely, I'm always inspired. I'm inspired by, your guys' program.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by the amazing little dogs that you have.
Thank you.
I call them the itty bitty committee.
Itty bitty committee. I like it. I
like to keep them bad ones, keep them tight, keep them small over there.
Yes.
Now, as far as studs go, you got
that collab is coming.
Oh, the collab's coming. We're gonna make something happen. I like the dibble dabble. But with other studs too. Besides the velvets, besides of course your in-house production. Are there some other studs too that probably you can highlight that probably helped you out in your way? Maybe some studs you used in the past. Maybe there were some pups that you bought off of one of your favorite studs. You got a couple of them out there too.
Oh gosh, I work pretty closely with Utmost Frenchies.
Okay.
Used, I created some amazing studs from Chaos. I've worked with Lummer and Adele Kennel in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
I bought probably one of my best studs ever from there, and it took years to get him. He was his name was Savage.
Legendary over there too.
Yes.
Anything you get from over there is gonna be legendary.
Yeah, we're talking Grinch lines, Seuss lines.
Yeah.
The
Shut out the door.
John Chalk. I mean, that's what my whole program is made of.
Okay.
You know, my dogs are heavy pedigree dogs.
Yep.
And I'm very proud of that and proud of the breeders that I've chosen to work with over the years. I don't take it lightly. You know, it's serious.
That's what's up right there.
And what is your main stud's name right now? The main stud you want everybody, they come to you, they be like, hey, this is who you need right here. You know, I know it's probably hard for you to pick. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, your top 1 or 2 or 3 studs.
Well, I got Shady. Shady is my new shade, Isabella Fluffy Boy.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
He's working. He just dropped 2 litters this weekend. Beautiful puppies. He's no pie, no brindle. Beautiful coat, looks like a lion. And then I've got Zoltan, who is probably, in my opinion, the best structured, you know, micro big rope stud. He's done a lot of work. He has definitely outproduced himself.
Yeah, I remember when Zoltan came to the forefront. He was killing them.
He was
killing them.
He really did.
He did his thing.
Really well.
Made his mark.
Some of the, you know, bigger dog, you know what I mean by bigger?
Yeah.
I mean bigger.
Yeah.
Like bigger.
Yeah.
Dogs with better DNA came out. So, you know, then, you know, you got a lot of...
I mean, and that's the dog game. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to constantly start, you know, revolving.
Yeah,
those.
but he's still a huge foundation in my program.
Yeah.
I put him, you know, he has, I guess, what you call simple DNA.
Yeah.
Put that simple DNA with really high DNA.
I call it legacy DNA, you know.
Legacy?
Something
I like that.
Yeah, it's legacy because it's
that.
still good. It's still, I wouldn't call it simple, but, you know,
I mean,
it's
some
just a
people-
legacy. You know, there's an Old Testament and New Testament that's trying to be shown
Legacy.
these days. So,
Yeah, he's the Old Testament.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
but it's still good. Okay, well, how can we get in contact with you?
Yeah.
Someone wants to use one of your studs. They want to check out your kennel. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, we're on all social media platforms.
Okay.
Instagram, we're at Royal Empire Frenchies.
All right.
Same thing for TikTok, and on Facebook, Royal Empire Frenchies. We have a page. I also, you know, I run most of my stuff through my personal. It's, you know, my name, Mela Kushner Garcia RN. That's where I do, you know, a lot of my networking.
Okay.
And I have a website,
Okay.
RoyalEmpireFrenchies.com.
Okay.
I think that's plenty of ways.
That's it.
That
yeah.
is. What else would you like people to know about you? Just, you know, just in general, like, hey, you know, the message that you want them to be, the long-lasting impression that you want to leave on these people about this interview. Besides that, pretty as what is this, velvet? That thing right there. Besides that right there, you know what I'm saying? What else you want people to know about you?
I want people to know that I'm living my dream. I love every second, every moment of being a breeder. I want people to know that my dogs come first. Their health comes first. And
Hell yeah.
quality is not attained overnight.
Oh man, that's tight.
It takes work and dedication and a vision. And, you know, I've had that vision for many years and I still have that vision today. You know, if you come to me, you're going to get the best of the best.
There it is.
For real. That is awesome.
There it
man.
is. Mela with
We appreciate
Royal
you.
Empire Frenchies. Y'all
Man.
holding it down.
That's the truth right
It's
there.
been lovely.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, for talking to me.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for having us.
He
We
said it's the
appreciate it.
network.
We couldn't get it all done without the
What are
exotic
they called
network.
again? What's the name?
The Exotic
I'm just kidding.
Network.
I'm
And
kidding.
who in the building doing a two-step
Thank
over
you.
there?
Thank you, Exotic Network.
No, both my feet left.
And thank you to Brock and Johnny and
We want to say
Holy
thank you too.
Frenchies.
Yeah, we want to say thank you for hosting us today.
Thank you for having us.
It's
Thank you.
always my pleasure, guys. Always my pleasures, and thank you for being you, because
That's it.
it's hard to come across good
Man, tell me about it.
people these days.
Tell me about it.
For real.
And you know, I don't know. Somehow I've been blessed, and you know, and I, you know, I really look forward to working with you guys sometime in the future,
All
in the
right.
near future.
Oh yeah.
Most
I'm
deaf.
excited.
So that's
Yeah.
it right there,
And I'm
man.
looking forward to Only Frenchies.
Oh
Frenchies
yes.
3.
Yes.
I'm gonna
just
be
like you
there.
did- Just like you did at 2. You guys had the 360 there. Y'all had it popping. I'm
Come
like,
on.
yeah.
We're gonna do it again this year, guys.
Get it
Right
popping.
We're gonna do it again, and this time y'all are gonna be in the 360s.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
jumping
we
that
gotta
thing.
get
You
in
know,
there.
we were trying to duck some of that stuff, but now we're gonna try to interact a little bit more,
A
a little bit
I
less
know
work.
it's a busy,
you know?
it's a busy show. It's a
Yeah.
huge show.
It's a
I've
little
been
bit
to a
less
lot
work
of
this
shows.
time. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we got
That's
a couple
some fun.
other some more. We added to the team. That's one thing we keep adding to the team. So we might have a little. Hopefully, we have a little more leniency
Yeah.
around. We got a couple of new assistants.
Really, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see your faces there. I know it's crazy, but by far, you know, my favorite show,
Thank you.
close to home.
Thank you, thank you, thank
It's
you.
done with style and pizzazz and royalty.
And see, that means a lot. Like coming from a breeder like yourself, because that's something we want to create. We want to bring out all the breeders and all of the icons and the influencers that don't normally go out to shows. So like it hits a little different to hear, you know, a breeder like yourself say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go to many shows, that's for sure. But
That's
this
what's
is
up.
one show that I won't miss.
Yeah, we're glad that you feel
Thank you.
comfortable enough to come out at all,
And
you
for
know.
y'all viewers,
Yeah.
don't miss out on this show. This is the show of the century.
Hey, and on that note,
Huh.
right there,
Right there.
you know.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic on the
But thanks
Velvet
again,
Queen.
Mela. Thanks again having us. The Velvet Queen in the house,
The Velvet
y'all.
Queen in the house. Much love.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Y'all better stop playing with us, man. We having fun over here. Y'all looking real scared.